Hello, Reverend Crystal Cox here. And there and everywhere. I haven't read this book, so I don't really know what it's all about, but, you know. Okay. The Book of Forbidden Knowledge. Magic, Superstition, Charms, and Divination. Omega, Ogla, that's the symbol. First edition, 1910. Johnson Smith and Company. Okay. This work is one of a number of manuscripts crafted towards the end of the 1800s and well into the 1920s, containing material related to all aspects of the occult, mesmerism, ceremonial, magic, talismans, and more. Like lots more stuff. Speaking of everything from fortune telling to folk healing, the Book of Forbidden Knowledge is perhaps better classified as modern grimoire than most contemporary works. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't think they have everything in here, but we shall see. Okay, 1910. Okay. This is too funny. What a synchronicity, right? Let me show you this other book I got. Where is it? Okay, it's right here. Okay. Because I'll be reading you some of this at some point too. The Lesser Key of Solomon. So this book we're reading today, it says, okay, what we already said, but this work, though, combines parlor magic with the more diabolical works, charms, divination, and more. The talisman appeared to be based on Mather's Key of Solomon. And some of the charms and rites listed here appeared in the 1800s under the Napoleon tradition. A cycle of fortune-telling literature, often with each text ascribed to Napoleon Bonaparte. With the quasi-fictional tale that he had in his possession, a magical book of sorts. Sometimes black magic, but more usually involving astrology or fortune-telling in general. So, don't be afraid of black magic. You have to know the dark to know the light, okay? If you go around like oblivious to, oh, that nobody does that, nobody does that, nobody does that, then they'll be subject to it. If you don't think for yourself, they'll think for you. We're quantum, and we can be magically manipulated, mostly through propaganda. They have to convince you something's true, and then they can kind of puppet you. Anyway, so don't be afraid of the word black magic. Okay, this work indeed invokes Napoleon and is a later-day adaptation of this same fortune-telling lore with material apparently also lifted from, among other works, Homan's Powwows, a Dutch folk magic work, and the Petit Albert, a French manuscript combined charms and folk rites with more diabolical elements. From the text itself, it is clear that this work here was meant to be taken seriously in the era of its manufacture. Seances and mesmerism were all the rage. Even its use of black magic in the subtitle is perhaps less a marketing ploy than an accurate description of the content of the text, considering it proposes that a person can become invisible, make bullets stop in midair, or cause other people to obey their commands through hypnotism or ceremonies of several sorts. And see, that's what they do against you. Okay, but when you're always present in the moment, you're in control of creating your quantum reality. When something doesn't feel right, stand up for yourself. You know, anyway, nefarious things going on. Okay, the rest of this work is taken from the oracle tradition dating to before the Napoleonic cycle. I have done my own research on these two intertwined traditions, and this is one of the several works combining the two. The Universal Fortune Teller of the Norwood Gypsy from 1790s was the first oracle guide from this tradition, and a few passages in this work are taken from it almost verbatim, such as the prognostication for children and judging men based on hair and eye color. Indeed, this tradition, physiognomy, dates centuries earlier and involves the Secretum Secretorium, a bona fide ancient work. This edition of the Book of Forbidden Arts has been rendered into modern English, taking care of a few grammatical errors and unclear language uses. Care has been taken to retain the meaning of each passage and to preserve its overall format. Oh, I see. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay. Book of Forbidden Knowledge. Divination, or how to obtain knowledge of future events. Any person fasting on Midsummer Eve and sitting on the church porch will at midnight see the spirits of the persons of that parish who will die that year. Come and knock at the door, come and knock on our door, in the order and succession in which they will die. One of those watchers, there being several in company, fell into profound sleep so that he could not be awakened. Whilst in this state, his ghost was seen by the rest of his companions knocking at the church door. Any unmarried woman fasting on Midsummer Eve and at midnight laying a clean cloth with bread, cheese, and ale, and sitting down as if going to eat, the street door being left open, the person whom she is afterward to marry will come into the room and drink to her by bowing, and afterward filling the glass, will leave it on the table and make another bow and then leave. Oh, watch it. Okay. On St. Agnes night, the 21st of January, take a row of pins and pull out every one after another, saying a paternoster. Sorry, this is tickling me so bit. On sticking a pin in your sleeve, and you will dream of him you shall marry. I'll be careful not to do that. Another method to see a future spouse in a dream. The party inquiring must lie in a different country from that in which he commonly resides, and on going to bed must knit the left garter about the right leg stocking, letting the other garter and stocking alone, and as you rehearse the following verse, at every comma knit a knit. This knot I knit, to know a thing I know not, that I may see the man that shall be my husband be, how he goes and what he wears. Whew. All right. I'm going to skip that next thing, since how, I'm not looking for a spouse. Okay, how to receive oracles by dreams. He who would receive true dreams and should keep a pure, undisturbed, imaginative spirit, and so compose it, that it may be made a worthy of knowledge and government by the mind. For such a spirit is most fit for prophesying, and is a must clear glass of all things. What? Whenever, therefore, we are sound in body, not disturbed in mind, our intellect not made dull by heavy metals and strong drink, not sad through poverty, not provoked through lust, not incited by any vice, not stirred up by wrath or anger, not being irreligious and profanely inclined, not given to levity, nor lost in drunkenness, but chastely going to bed, fall asleep, then our pure and divine soul, being free from all evils above, recited and separated from all hurtful thoughts, and now freed, by dreaming, is endowed with this divine spirit as an instrument, and does not receive those beams and representations which are darted down, as it were, and shine forth from the divine mind itself in a defying glass. Okay, so what you're thinking about before you go to sleep at night, that is going to affect your dreams. Whatever movie you watch, for me, I like to look at spiritual pictures on a slideshow, because what I do before I go to sleep, whether it's worry about something, think about a person, think about a situation, whatever I'm focused on as I go to sleep enters my dream and affects my dream time. If I do things like, I've been reading to you guys about Psychiana, check that out, Brian Scott on YouTube, about the power of the living God, and doing that meditation before you go to sleep, relaxing everywhere in your body, and I believe in the power of the living God, I believe in the power of the living God, and saying your affirmations, like money comes to me easily, money comes to me easily. Repeat a thought over and over. Otherwise, my mind will wander, and then if I trigger on some negative thing that comes up, then that too affects my dream state. Okay, there are 4 kinds of true dreams, viz. The first, matunine, i.e., between sleeping and waking, the second that which one sees concerning another, the third that whose interpretation is shown to the same dreamer in the nocturnal vision, and lastly that which is related to the same dreamer in the nocturnal vision. But natural things and their own commixtures do likewise belong unto wise men, and we often use such to receive oracles from spirit by dream, which are neither by perfume, seal, it talks it right, the different things you take. So asking a question before you go to sleep sets your intention of what you want to happen and where you want to go, and maybe try to picture it. Now those who are desirous to receive oracles through a dream, let them make themselves a ring of the sun or Saturn for this purpose. That's so interesting. I was going to read the rings of Saturn tonight. There are likewise images of dreams, which being put under the head when going to sleep, do effectually give true dreams of whatever the mind hath before determined or consulted upon, the practices of which as follows. You shall make an image of the sun, the figure whereof must a man sleeping upon the bosom of an angel, which you will make when Leo ascends. The sun being in the 9th house in Aries, then you must write upon the figure the name of the effect desired, and in the hand of the angel the name and character of the intelligence of the sun, which is Michael. Let the same image be made in Virgo ascending, Mercury being fortunate in Aries in the 9th, or Gemini ascending, Mercury being fortune in the 9th house in Aquarius, and let him be received by Saturn with a fortunate aspect, and let the name of the spirit, which is Raphael, be written upon it. Let the same likewise be made Libra ascending, Venus being received from Mercury in Gemini in the 9th house, and write upon it the name of the angel of Venus, which is Anael, Anael. Again, you may make the same image, Aquarius ascending, Saturn fortunately possessing the 9th in this exaltation, which is Libra, and let there be written upon it in the name of the angel of Saturn, which is Cassiel, Cassiel. The same may be made with Cancer, ascending the moon being received by Jupiter and Venus in Pisces, and being fortunately placed in the 9th house, and write upon it the spirit of the moon, which is Gabriel. There are likewise made rings of dreams of wonderful efficacy, and there are rings of the sun and Saturn, and the constellation of them is, when the sun or Saturn ascend in their exaltation in the 9th, and when the moon is joined to Saturn in the 9th, and in that sign which was in the 9th house of nativity, and write and engrave upon the rings the name of the spirit of the sun or Saturn, and by these rules you may know how and by what means to constitute more of yourself. But know this, that such images work nothing, as they are simply images. Expect they are vivified by spiritual and celestial virtue, and chiefly by the ardent desire and firm intent of the soul of the operator. But who can give a soul to an image, or make a stone, or metal, or clay, or wood, or wax, or paper to live? Certainly no man, whatever for this arcanum, does not enter into an artist of a stiff neck. He only has it who transcends the progress of angels, and comes to the very archetype himself. All right, dreams, tokens, and insights into the future. The ring and the olive branch. Buy a ring, it matters not if it being gold, so as it has the semblance of a wedding ring, and it is best to try this charm on your own birthday. Pay for your ring with some small bill. For whatever change you receive, you must give it to the first beggar you meet on the street. And if no one asks alms of you, give it to some poor person, for you need not. Alas, go far before you find one to whom your charity will be acceptable. Carefully note what they say in return, such as God bless you, or wishing you luck and prosperity, as is usual. When you get home, write it down on a sheet of paper. At each of 4 corners and in the middle, put the 2 first letters of your name, your age, and the letters of the planets then reigning as morning and evening stars. Get a branch of olive and fasten the ring on the stalk with a string of thread, which has been steeped all day in a mixture of honey and vinegar or any composition of opposite qualities. Very sweet and very sour. Cover your ring and stalk with the written paper, carefully wrapped round and round. Wear it in your bosom, that's going to smell lovely, till the 9th hour of the night. Then repair to the next churchyard and bury the charm in the grave of a young man who died unmarried. Oh my God, right? You're going to get arrested for that. And while you are doing so, repeat the letters of your own Christian name 3 times backwards. Return home and keep as silent as possible till you go to bed, which must be done before 11. Put a light in your chimney or some safe place, and before midnight or just about that time, your husband that it is to be will present himself at the foot of the bed, but will presently disappear. I think you can do this by asking Spirit too to show you that person. If you are not to marry, none will come. And in that case, if you dream before morning of children, it shows that you will have them unmarried. And you dream of crowds of men, beware of prostitution. Well then, this is quite an interesting book, huh? Okay, Love's Cordial. Wait, I'm gonna read. Let's see, The Witch's Chain. All right, let's see what this is. Let 3 young women join together in making a long chain, about a yard will do, of Christmas juniper and mistletoe berries, and at the end of every link put an oak acorn. Exactly before midnight, let them assemble in a room by themselves, where no one can disturb them. Leave a window open, and take the key out of the keyhole, and hang it over the chimney piece. Have a good fire, and place in the midst of it a long, thin log of wood, well sprinkled with oil, salt, and fresh mold. Then wrap the chain around it, each maiden having an equal share in the business. Then sit down, and on your left knee let each fair one have a prayer book opened in the matrimonial service. Just as the last acorn is burned, the future husband, I guess we're still on husbands here, or, spouses, if you're lazy like me, future spouse will cross the room. Each one will see her own proper spouse, but he will be invisible to the rest of the wakeful virgins. Remember, this is a very old book. Those that are not be wed will see a coffin or some or see some their own proper spouse. Okay, but he will be invisible. All right. Cross the room, go to bed instantly, and you will have remarkable dreams. This stuff can be done with intention too, folks. This must be done either on Wednesday or Friday, and no other. Oh my goodness, right? Lucky days, lucky day. List of days unusually unfortunate. List of fortunate hours. Oh my goodness, right? To cite a witch. Okay, cite, C-I-T-E. Take an earthen pot, not glazed, yarn spun by a girl not yet 7 years old. Put the water of the bewitched animal into the pot. Then take the egg of a black hen and some of the yarn and move the latter 3 times around the egg and speak in the 3 names. After this, put the egg into the water of the pot. Seal the lid of the vessel tightly that no fumes may ooze, therefore, but observe that the head of the lid is below. While setting the pot upon fire, pronounce the following. Summon the sorcerer before the witch or me in these names thee. Okay, that no witch may leave a church. Purchase a pair of new shoes, grease them on Saturday with grease on the outer sole, then put them on and walk to church, and no witch can find the way out of the church without you proceeding before her. I didn't know this was a comic book. Oh my goodness, all right. Yeah, I'm not going to read any more of that right now. Okay, so the Lesser Keys of Solomon. I'm just going to kind of tell you some things on this, and then, okay, so I can't pronounce any of these words anyway, so, all right, well, we're done here. Turns out the forbidden knowledge was, Later, dude.